I will say this, unfortunately, I have intergenerational HIV in my family. Not only was my mother affected by HIV and passed, my stepfather was. HIV is in my community. I see HIV when I go to church. I see HIV when I show up at sporting events with my children. HIV is all around me. And that truly is a reason why, just being a nurse is compassion, but why HIV has become like a passionate part of me and my purpose. My mom, Luwana Daniels, her nickname is Pumpkin. Seeds is something that you can plant to bring life. Seeds actually stands for Sustaining Empowerment by Educating and Developing Sisters. And so that's how we came up with Seeds of Healing. Everything we do promotes healing in the individual, in the family, and in the community. Reducing stigma for people living with HIV is just acknowledging that many of us could be in those same shoes.
Educating yourself as well as others with the factual information, I think, is key. There's only 4 ways that you can get HIV, and it's through blood, semen, vaginal fluid, or breast milk. Those are the only 4 ways. Educating people on all of that really makes a difference, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions still.
When it comes to HIV and AIDS, people have their blinders on. They look to the other side. Just look at me. If you didn't know I was HIV positive, you wouldn't know that. And people need to understand HIV don't have no color, no race. You can be female, male. It doesn't matter.
There is not a particular characteristic that put you at risk. It is a behavior. It can be an accident. Understand that what you say can be stigmatizing by making judgment in common areas. You never know who's living with what sitting next to you. You cannot catch HIV through tears, through hugging, through caring for, through talking, through sharing straws, through eating behind someone with a fork. That is not how you get HIV. So be proactive about learning to remove those barriers of fear, to remove those barriers of judgment. And I think that is important and key to supporting people that are living positive.
When I first got diagnosed, I just wanted to crawl up in a bed and not never come out. There was so much stigma around HIV. I didn't want people to look at me. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I just shut down.
Some people just need somebody to listen to them and understand what they're going through, because a lot of people don't.
When you don't have that support, it's like you're lost in the world all by yourself. I needed just somebody to listen to me. When I first come out, I said, well, who's going to listen to me with HIV? But my thing was, I choose not to be silent anymore because there's somebody just like I was.
Specifically as an HIV provider, I started to meet women who shared a commonality as my mother. They were living with HIV, but they dealt with stigma, and sometimes stigma got in the way with how they cared for themselves, the perceptions that they thought others had. They also had conversations about faith and religion and wanting to only rely on faith to heal them, and avoided the medication management and the healthcare management.
I think there's a lot of ignorance in the church in particular. So often people act unbecomingly when they just don't know the facts. As the pastor of New Beginning Christian Church, it's also my intent to educate my people from the pulpit and talk about the very issue that we're all sidestepping. I think the Black church has a responsibility. It's just another thing that's happening that we need to be informed on. When we talk about having safe sex, we don't think that that's taboo. When we talk about don't drink and drive, we don't have a problem with that either. And I think that we have to be intentional and lean into it and not away from it. And I would say to anyone that wants to condemn someone with HIV virus, I would simply ask the question, have you ever had unprotected sex? We need to talk about it.
HIV testing is important for anyone as young as the age of 13 up to the age of 65. Anyone can get tested for HIV with their primary care provider. You can be tested for HIV at your local health department. Most times at community health fairs, they're doing screening for HIV. And in New Hanover County, where we are in Wilmington, we also have case management services that provide HIV screening.
They need to know their status. And I can't say that enough. Everybody needs to know their status, because today you just cannot tell whether a person's sick or not. But if you will be tested, there's medication, there's doctors will put you on the right track for you to stay healthy.
Treatment for HIV does exist. It's medication management. Some people can actually have a regimen that's a single tablet a day. But the point is that although there's no cure, there is treatment for HIV, and people can live healthy lives once they are connected to care.
The quicker they're in care, the better outcomes that there will be. I mean, this is a chronic illness. It's not a death sentence.
If you know your status, and if you are fortunate enough not to be living positive, that is your opportunity to protect yourself diligently so that you do not have to live with HIV.
How Seeds of Healing have made an impact in my life is by empowering other women to let them know that, okay, we do have HIV, but we can live. I can be Cressy, I can be me, I can let my hair down. It makes a big difference. We can empower each other, because somebody might not be going through what you're going through. Someone else might be. But you know, the thing of it is, there are strength in numbers, because we can make a difference. And I know we all can make a difference.
Seeds of Healing is a great agency that empowers women, empowers even other family members of these women to get out there and get rid of that stigma, that's associated with this disease. Educate them. There's community events that Seeds of Healing does, such as the HIV 5K, which is so much fun, and it gets the community out there. It's not only people who are infected, but it's people who are affected, people who work in healthcare, different vendors who come out, and they learn stuff from this. I mean, it's just an educational opportunity. It's not to see how fast you are, but it's just to learn.
We want the community not to forget about those living with HIV and the risk that HIV poses on our community. Last year, we had our first annual Red Ribbon Brunch, where we have a keynote speaker. We celebrate those who are living a legacy in the life by being positive or being affected by HIV, and the community come together. That's our annual fundraiser. We also have an annual retreat for our women. It's called the SO Retreat, the Seeds of Healing Retreat, where we sponsor women that are living positive and those who are at risk, where we come together for empowerment.
Seeds of Healing has helped me continue to engage with the people who care so much about something that I care for as well.
It have helped me in so many ways for me to be a better person.
The goal is to promote HIV awareness, to make sure that people understand that although we don't talk about HIV, as often as when we first found out about it, that it still exists and that people are still at risk, and we cannot become complacent in our behaviors to protect ourselves and to protect our communities. To learn more about Seeds of Healing, visit our website at www.seedsofhealinginc.org, or you could always find us on Facebook at Seeds of Healing.